There's no subtle way to put this. I'm quitting the internet. Okay, that's. I hope that you will at least have the mind to sit through this uncut, unedited, unscripted updates that I have for my YouTube channel. And I know that's not going to get me a lot of views, but that's not what I want. I'm quitting YouTube and I'm quitting the internet for as long as I can. And the reason why is probably not all that justifiable, but I'm gonna say it anyway because it's a major factor in my depression and my anxiety and everything else is causing me pain in my life. That not a lot of people know about. Really, no one except my family knows about. So, with that, I'm going to give you my YouTube story. So this is where it begins. I started my YouTube career, well, if you could even call it that, when I was like 14. Back in 2011, I started my very first YouTube channel, and it was under my name, Parker Bryant. That's my name, by the way. My name's Parker. That's my real name. That's my given name, and that channel was basically just me fooling around in things like Mario 64, just making it's what you'd expect from a 12-year-old boy, from a 14-year-old boy in the 2010s. And yeah, it wasn't the best content. A short while later, that account got hacked and deleted for reasons I will never know. So, about 6 months later, I started a new channel by the name of Parker's Playground Entertainments, and by then I had learned some different techniques to keep my channel and my account secure, and somehow they ended up working, and they are even working to this day because that channel is still up. And this channel was, at first, this channel wasn't really anything special. I was just me uploading and mimicking content that I liked at the time, which was no commentary videos and other things that didn't have anything that was valuable in entertainment these days. It was not special until I ultimately decided to do video game commentating. But that proved to be way too much of a stress on me once I got into video editing, because the strategy that I used to use before today is I would make an uncut, unedited, unscripted video of just me fooling around in a game, and I would upload that video file specifically. I would not edit it, nor would I even fix any mistakes in it. I would just upload it. And that has continued to be the pattern for all of my YouTube channels that I've started. You'll figure out more about that later. And yeah, that channel didn't end up doing very well. As soon as I got into video editing, it's put a massive strain on my YouTube channel because I was spending monumental amounts of efforts and time just going through and sifting through the footage, just finding what worked best, and that took days, weeks even, just to finish a single video, and that would not be profitable on YouTube's algorithm. This really only accelerated with the with the coming of the adpocalypse in 2017. You know what I'm talking about, when Disney decided to sever its ties to PewDiePie after a few jokes in his videos were taken out of context to portray him as an anti-Semite. That was not the truth at all. Truth is, big media corporations and news companies were out to get him, and it was not what it was interpreted as at all. It was just him joking around. Okay, now that I've gotten that off my chest, I'm gonna tell you my feelings about the adpocalypse. The adpocalypse basically destroyed my interest in YouTube. It made me quit the platform for a long time, for like probably 3 or 4 years before I decided to try it again. And when I decided to try it again, I decided in 2019, when I had conceived the Project Nerd Cave goals. That's the PNC. That's what the PNC in my username stands for. Project Nerd Cave. It's my 10-year goal that I have by 2030 to construct my own special effects workshop from the ground up for all sorts of different creative works, metal and woodworking, props and costumes, CNC and CAD, digital artistry, sculpture making, all sorts of stuff. I'm inspired by Adam Savage to build this. To build this shop. If you don't know who Adam Savage is, he's the guy from MythBusters, the redheaded guy from MythBusters, with the fancy goatee and sideburns, and he's just an amazing guy. I haven't met him in person, but I really want to meet him in person. It is my dream to even be an intern for him, because that would be a dream come true for me. And I'm sorry if I get emotional in this video, but I'm going to do this anyway, because I really want people to know why I'm quitting the internet, and why I'm not going to be uploading to YouTube for the time being, or not even anymore. So yeah. But there was an event that I skipped, but and that was in 2018, when I decided to join the trucking industry. I had went to CDL education. I had gotten my CDL, and the first company I worked for, mind you, I wasn't all that skilled in manual transmission with trucks, even though I was trained in a manual transmission truck. Because I wasn't skilled in an automatic truck, I had gotten into my first training accidents, but luckily there was no one around to get hurt. Thank God. But what happened was, if I had a pen and paper with me right now, I'd show you. But what happened was, I had came around the corner, and there was a light pole right here. Imagine my hand right here is a street corner. And I had gone too fast, turned too tight and too soon, and ended up hitting the side of a trailer against a traffic pole, and scraping off a lot of the side of the trailer. And it was the first accident I had ever gotten in my life. I was horrified by it, and at that moment, I thought I had screwed the pooch hard. Okay, it's in the grand scheme of things, it was really just minor damages because I was working for a big company, but that caused me to develop PTSD towards trucking. And I don't know why I did this, but 6 months after I left that company, I decided to try again with another company. And the first company this wasn't their fault, it was mine. The first company I worked for was a company called Doug Andrus. It's not far from my hometown. Please don't contact them. It is not okay to go to a company and scolding them for past employees that they for firing past employees. It is just not okay. Okay, just it's not okay. So, and I wanted to tell you that before I told you this next company. The next company I went to work for was CR England. Okay, I worked in their Utah-based facility, and long story short, I went to CR England. Got put with a trainer only a few weeks after I joined. Stayed in their living quarters. The trainer I was put with was a racist black man who did not know how to deal with ADHD and autism, and just tortured me mentally endlessly during the 6 months we spent together. And I could not leave the truck in that 6 months. I was stuck with him for 6 months. It was hell. It was that job ended up breaking me into millions upon billions upon countless theoretical shards. And it turned me into the man I am today. When I got home after I quit CR England, after I finished the first phase of training, when I went back to CR England, that was my opportunity to go back home. And I did not skip that opportunity to go back home. When I got back home, I came home a broken man. I was in my room for a whole month. I did not leave my room for a month. Not joking, I did not leave my room for a month when I got home. I even attempted to kill myself a couple times during that period. But I didn't. I didn't because of my family, because I'm not sure if I'm even possible of killing myself. I don't know if I'm even capable of that, because I'm afraid of hurting the ones that I love so much that causing them pain in any way, even if it meant I had to go away, it doesn't make sense in my brain. And that mindset has kept me from taking my own life ever since. After I joined the trucking industry, PNC was founded, Project Nerd Cave, and in an effort to get noticed by Adam Savage, I had created a YouTube channel out of the Project Nerd Cave maker goals, and you can still find these channels. All of them are up to date. You'll find links to them. If I even find the mind to do it, I'll put links to all of them in the description. But the long story short, it didn't work. Even the only video you'll find on the first Project Nerd Cave YouTube channel, the PNC Maker Society, which is the name of the group that I'm trying to start. The only video you'll find on that channel, the only meaningful watchable video you'll find on that channel, is not even really watchable. It's just a montage of me building a drill press with no music. And at the time, that was a monumental achievement for me, but in the grand scheme of things, it was practically nothing. After that, after a couple years of trying Project Nerd Cave and not making any videos, my shop ultimately ended up becoming a natural disaster, and it's at this point I still haven't found the time, nor the motivation, nor the efforts I can spare to clean it. And I just can't bring myself to to clean it because I know that within a few days it'll just get back to its messy state again, because that's how my brain works. My ADHD and my autism have caused me to have a messy environments, which affects me and puts me in a downward spiral that continues to this day. And you can actually see it in my room behind me if I move my chair here. Yeah. Yeah, you can see it back there. My room's a mess. But my shop is even messier. And I can never find the motivation to clean it. Which really speaks to what kind of person I am. And unlike the joke in one of my most recent PNC Games video, and I say this not jokingly, this is why I still haven't done my taxes. And yeah, after not being able to clean my shop, I tried to get back into gaming after like 5 years of not doing gaming for a living, and I have been like gaming on my own casually ever since I was a teenager, ever since I got my first PC when I was like 13 years old. Ever since I got my first computer, I've enjoyed PC gaming. And as a couple years after starting Project Nerd Cave, I started PNC Games, which is the channel that you might be watching this on right now, although I'm probably going to upload this to all of my channels just so that you will just so that you will be able to see it and be able to get links to all my channels. I'll link it to all my channels that way. So yeah, it's PNC Games was basically a repeat of Parker's Playground's entertainment, and that ultimately ended up in the same story. I ended up doing videos that I liked at the time, and like mimicking videos I liked at the time, doing uncut content, getting into video editing, and getting sick of video editing. That's the loop that I found myself in. And after doing it 2 times, after failing at getting into YouTube, becoming a YouTube gamer 2 times, I can't bring myself to suffer a 3rd time. Even if the 3rd time's the charm and it's actually successful, it will only drain my psyche. It will only be more draining on me than it ever will be before, just as it is now. And after I've just this video also means that I won't be continuing BYUI crafts unless I make friends at BYUI, which I'm not a student at BYUI. I'm planning on continuing again this fall, but there's no guarantee that I'll continue BYUI crafts. That series, for the time, has ended, and season 1 didn't even get finished. That really speaks to what kind of person I am. I am done with YouTube. I've tried so many things on YouTube. I've tried making things, I've tried YouTube gaming, I've tried voice acting, and that's so far is going moderately successful. I've created a voice actor resume channel, Shugo-chan VA, and that's probably the only channel that I will put effort in from now on, just my voice acting channel and nothing else, because making videos is making gaming videos is just too draining on me. I'm sorry, I just can't anymore. I can't do YouTube gaming. And all I can do, I can play games on my own casually, but I just cannot do YouTube gaming anymore. It is too draining on me. And I even started other PNC channels for my other different passions. I started a channel for fan films that will probably never get made, which is PNC Films. And I've made other ones like PNC, it's anything with PNC on it is my channel. Like with those letters, those 3 straight font letters in different colors, in different color grades for each channel. They're channels by me, and you'll know the logo when you see it. I'm not even gonna bother editing the video and putting it on screen because I'm gonna be uploading this video as uncut anyway, so there's no point in putting it on the screen. So maybe I'll just show you the logo on my phone. Let's see if I can find it. Or maybe I can show you on in my Dropbox on my screen. Let's see here. Just bear with me and let me find it. Let's see here. Great, it's taking forever to load. Let's see, I'll go ahead and put up my display capture. Let's see. Nope, that's not it. There it is. That's the logo that I use for my channel, and I use different color grades, inverted colors, black and white for all the different PNC channels that I've created so far. And that's the channel that I use for all my contents nowadays. But I'm quitting YouTube, and because of that, I will no longer be using this persona I've created, Shugo-chan, and I will no longer be using this persona for gaming, is what I mean, is the Shugo-chan VA channel, the voice actor resume channel that I've created, will probably still be up. I'm not going to delete any of my channels, I'm just quitting. And I just can't anymore. Okay. I know I've said that a few times in this video already, but I just can't. This persona came about. This persona, Shugo-chan. I'm gonna tell you the story of how I created that persona. It all starts with the book that I've been writing, the science fiction novel that I've been writing for the last 10 to 12, 13 almost 13 years now, called The Chronicle of Sanctuary. And to give you a short summary, it's about a scientist who invents amazing technologies. Those technologies end up being used for war. Because the technology from this scientist created the war, he feels he needs to save humanity. and so he creates a floating island called Sanctuary, the last hope for humankind. After the Earth becomes uninhabitable, this scientist looks for a new world to call home. And throughout the whole of this story is tales of struggle, hardships, strife, and chaos. All while a scientist tries to keep the final embers of humankind from dying out. That's a short summary on my book, and I'll go ahead and read you the foreword of my book. That's like so that you can get an idea for what kind of writing journey it's been. It's not a very long forward, trust me. Here it is. As I write this, I have the world's worst case of uncertainty and stage fright. After 10 plus years and countless hours of conceptualization, after struggles and strides, after failed aspirations, cycles of depression, terrible anxieties, marriages and children, divorces and deaths, both from my friends and family and in my extended family, and pandemics I've barely lived through while being on the verge of suicide, I'm finally starting to write the Chronicle of Sanctuary. You, the reader, know how the publishing of this book went. You've read the reviews, seen the sales figures, heard about awards, or the lack thereof, and best of all, you've read the finished book. I've done none of this. Did I create a masterpiece of science fiction and fantasy, or did I create an uncreative piece of garbage not worthy of reading? Did I live up to the expectations I had set upon myself when I started conceptualizing the story? Did I pull it off? You know, and I don't. And that seems tremendously unfair to me right now. I don't know if this book did well. Only you, the reader, know that. And that's something I feel is one of the most unfair things that can happen to any creator. What started out as a fan fiction of a DS game I played in 2011 has evolved into a story whose timeline spans time, space, and a history of a scientist who changed humanity forever. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm starting on drafting this book in the year 2021. That's 10 years after I first conceptualized the story in my mind when I was 14 years old in 2011. And now, I'm writing the first attempt at a fully uncompressed version in 2022. I don't know if I'll ever finish authoring this book. I've already written down story elements, organized them into notes, assembled a timeline of chapters, and found a suitable ending after 9 years of imagining the whole chronicle. I may have finally started drafting this book, but in the long run, I don't really know how to feel about it. I've been writing bits and pieces of the story on and off for the last 10 plus years, in several Word documents, all while trying to find the perfect ending in the process and making it happen. I'm not even sure if this book is going to work. I'm not even sure if I'll ever finish writing it. But the thing that I'm most uncertain about is how well it will be received. Only you, the reader, know that, and all I can do is speculate on how well it will be received. So without further ado, I'm going to tell you the wondrous and long story of the world in my mind, the world that I had created in my teenage years and continue to live on in my imagination well into adulthood. I hope you find this novel enjoyable, and that's because I've worked on it for more than half my life. Forward written on December 27th, 2021, by Parker Bryant, the Project Nerd Cave Maker Society. First forward proofread on February 19th, 2022. Second proofread on May 9th, 2022. First edit by Parker Bryant on August 10th, 2022. The title of this book, The Chronicle of Sanctuary, and the Life Story of Shugo Tenshi. Written by Parker Bryant. And that's where my persona's name comes from, back to that. Shugo Tenshi. It's the Japanese for guardian angel, and Shugo is I also gave to one of my Splatoon OCs, Shugo the Octoling, and Tenshi, his cousin, who is it's a quite a long and detailed story, so I won't bore you with the details like I have this book. But Shugo is an inventor, and he also has a sister by the name of Yuri. And Shugo and Yuri, as well as Tenshi, all three of them were orphans, and like at a very young age. And Shugo and Yuri are all that, and Tenchi are all that those three Octolings have. They endured through so many different hardships, and because Shugo and Yuri are so close, Yuri calls Shugo Shugo-chan, and that's where I got the idea to make a persona. I got an idea to make a persona around that name, Shugo-chan, which is where my current persona, Shugo-chan, comes from. That's basically a very compressed version of the story that my name, where my online persona name Shugo-chan comes from. And yeah, I'll be continuing to do voice actor content, like of all those, because the demo reels that I make require very little conscious effort for me to do and make, and that's something that's I really need right now. It's something that takes me very little effort, and that I can do from my own home, and that I can. It's just something I need right now. Is something that I love doing, and I love gaming on my own casually, but not making it for videos. I love making things and doing arts, but I don't want to try and make a video around it. It just takes the joy out of it. And voice acting, that's something that I really have no choice but to make videos around, because I want to put my voice out there, and being a voice actor is something that I've dreamed about since I was a teenager. I've always dreamed of voicing famous characters and seeing what I can bring to a character that it's I've in recent years I've also found a documentary called I Know That Voice, but it's a documentary by John DiMaggio, the voice of Bender in Futurama, and so many other voices. He's like he's like the one of the voices of my childhood, and I'm sure he is for you too. I Know That Voice is such a great documentary. I recommend you find a copy of it and watch it with whatever method you choose. I just got it off of BitTorrent Documents, which is perfectly legal, and yeah, I just love that movie. It inspired me to pursue a career in voice acting, and that's one of the things I'm going to try and do over the next for the foreseeable future, is try and get into a career in voice acting. But my gaming career is no more. All right, I've finally decided to just quit gaming as a career. It's as soon as gaming became a career, it just took all the joy out of it, because it was a grind that's ultimately ended up in me, ultimately ended in my depressive state that I find myself in now. And I just can't make videos anymore. I just can't find myself to make videos anymore. I just want to do the stuff that I love, which is play video games and create art. And I don't want to have to edit videos together in order to do that. I once enjoyed video editing, but after doing it for a long time and trying and failing at it for so many times, I I am just sick of it. I don't want, and I especially don't want to have to do it to keep up to a schedule. That just takes all of the joy out of making videos. The only kind of videos that I find myself making these nowadays are just random duets or reacts on TikTok. That's I put on my TikTok, and you can also find my TikTok handle at ShugoChan2501. That's my, wait, you guys, I'm pretty sure that's my TikTok channel, and then the display name is also my name, Parker Bryant. And yeah, let me see here real quick. Let's see. Stop scrolling. Yeah, ShugoChan2501. That's my TikTok handle if you want to see what kind of content I create on that. As soon as I get up to 1,000 followers, I'll be live streaming stuff that I do, but I won't be recording any of it. I am looking forward to that milestone, but I just don't want to edit together videos. Nor do I want to game to keep up with the schedule. It just takes all the fun out of it. If I ever do get into gaming again, it's just going to be uncut, unscripted, and unedited gaming videos where I just upload my whole sessions if I find the space on my computer for them, because I have like 7 different hard drives over here on my right with video files on them from all those years, and I just do not know what to do with all of it. It's too much. So yeah, I'm quitting YouTube. And I'm quitting the internet for as long as I can. If any of you of my online friends who are watching this video right now and don't like what you're hearing, I'm sorry, okay? I just can't make videos. I may like game on my own casually and join your gaming sessions, but I won't make videos about it anymore. I just want to enjoy life, whatever it takes. And I can't enjoy life when keeping up with the schedule. I just can't. So yeah, that was the story of my YouTube life, and I hope you at least found it enlightening as to why I'm such an infrequent uploader, and I really hope that you understand where I'm coming from. I started this whole YouTube journey when I was like 14 years old. I'm like 26 this April now. I'm like 26 this coming April 9th. I'm 26 years old. I started this YouTube journey like almost 12 years ago and have never found any success in it because of a lot of different factors. And yeah, I don't know where to end this video. I mean, I've told you, I've like spilled my guts out to you and to like hundreds of maybe thousands of people who come across this video, and I'm sorry that I'm quitting, but it's something that I want to do. It's gaming online and making videos about it. Like, making videos has brought me nothing but pain in the long run. Like, wanting to become a YouTube gamer, it's brought me nothing but pain in the long run, and it's only made my depression get worse and worse as the years go by. Sure, I've found different coping mechanisms, but so far, none of them have even worked all that well, at least as well as I wanted to. Sure, they've kept me from taking my own life, but as I said before, I don't even know if I'm possible of taking my own life. So I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna quit YouTube, and I'm gonna quit the internet for as long as I can. And hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from. I just I just want to enjoy life, whatever that means to me. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah.